Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Right. Natural start is what we're looking for.
Do you guys do a theme song?
Keep it natural.
Yeah, there's a theme song.
Wait, it has started. Oh, all right.
Did you guys see that there's a... Richie just kills himself.
Let me step into character.
Right. Yeah. Did you hear about this Elaine Bobbitt, ladies and gentlemen?
Did you guys hear about this Monica Lewinsky, folks?
Yeah, I tell you, she's for the birds. Now, what were you going to say, Devin?
That aliens are like real. You guys see this?
Yeah.
I think a guy that worked for the Navy and the Pentagon.
Yeah, it was Fravor.
Said it's real.
The guy, he was a pilot named Fravor. He was on Rogan's podcast.
His name was Fravor?
His last name was Fravor.
So
I can't remember his first name.
That's a bad name. So he's lying.
Yeah, he's like Frasier. Yeah.
No, it's probably one of the most famous UFO videos that exists.
There's a million of them now.
But that's the
credible
craziest one. That's the most credible one.
I did see something this week that the CIA or the whatever basically admitted that from like the 40s to the 70s, about half of all UFO cases, they knew exactly what it was, and they just lied to the general public because it was like covert.
We're testing new planes. To bomb people.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
My girlfriend's like, "There's aliens. Like, aren't you amazed by this?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
No. I'm more amazed still by the fact that Donald Trump existed than aliens being real, even if they are real. I don't, because the thing with aliens, it's like shit or get off the pot. Come out of the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's time to exit the UFO, land it, and come talk.
Yeah.
Enough of we just keep capturing you and shitty footage of you being an alien. It's probably just China or something.
How about an identified flying object?
Yeah, goddamn right, Jace. We hit the big issues here.
I heard it was Zsa Zsa Gabor was flying. she was piloting the UFO. No, who knows what it was? Probably some weird fucking glitch with a camera. I don't believe.
Well, they're making it. They're making. I mean, the government's making it sound like no, it's aliens.
Did they release the shit?
There's a ton of them. There's a ton of little. It's just a speck,
and it's moving around.
One of them goes into water.
No,
one of them flies right into the fucking ocean.
That's the thing I was talking about. But did they release new documents? That video's been out for a long time.
I don't know. There's a 60 Minutes where it's basically like the guy's just interviewing people that have worked for the military, pilots for years, and they're like, for the last 15 years, about once a day, I lose my fucking mind, and I go, what is that?
So
I have no idea what that is. So they're almost saying I have no explanation,
and it happens all the time,
and it's happening all of the fucking time. But it's if that is happening all the time, like I said, wouldn't they want to come get out?
Right. It would be fun. Have you seen the movie Contact with Jodie Foster?
Yeah, it's good.
Where the aliens they picked up all our radio signals over the years.
Yeah.
So it would be funny if the aliens just know all they know about us is just listening to Joe Rogan apps. They come out of the ship and they give us a kettlebell as a symbol of peace.
Yeah, they bring us elk.
Right.
And the aliens get off the ship and they go, trans fighters should not be allowed in.
We would have landed. They talk like Native Americans. We would have landed many moon ago, if not for trans people in the UFC.
What if the aliens are just Native American people that figured out a way to not be slaughtered back in the?
They're like, we actually dominated you, and then we rewrote history fake as a prank.
But yeah, it's really interesting that we live in a day and age where they're just releasing footage now.
That footage has been out. I don't know what's
been
new.
Out for a while.
Well, the fact that they're saying it's I
guess the big new thing is that we acknowledge that this is something that's weird that we don't know.
Yeah, that's the big deal.
I guess that's kind of
they confirmed it in the middle of COVID and nobody gave a shit.
Right.
And then now because of the 60 Minutes, you got Obama. Confirming it.
Obama. You got Obama over here, and you got Trump.
Right.
And they were both presidents.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
I fucked one of the aliens, and it's pussy, right?
Yeah.
Like Obama.
That's what Obama
sounds
like.
And then Trump.
And then Trump would be like, I fucked them in the pussy.
Listen, the aliens have the tightest pussy. I fucked them so good with my big cock.
What if the footage is probably just Trump flying around in something that he just purchased?
It's Trump in the little spaceship from the Flintstones.
That guy, I feel bad for that guy. He can't. He can't.
Trump.
He just can't. He
feel bad for Trump.
There's nowhere for him to speak. He didn't have enough.
Yeah, he tried starting a Twitch channel.
He was on the come up, and we took it all away from him.
Yeah.
Is he still banned from Twitter?
He's on Patreon.
Is he banned from Twitter still?
He's banned from
he's
everything.
banned from everything.
Like literally, he's deplatformed
he's
from
done.
the internet.
He's finished.
Let him back on Twitter. I mean, now that he's not the president, he's not as harmful. It's not as big of a risk. Let him. I say let him back.
No, I mean they banned him.
He's a maniac. I know. I'm not saying he was a good president or whatever.
They banned Trump from everything. He's not even on Brazzers. They Bang Bros canceled his subscription.
I had the gold account. The amount of liked videos that have gone forever is tragic.
He gives a speech. He goes, "Naughty America has canceled my subscription.
My algorithm was perfect. First video recommends I nut to every time, every fucking time. It's a damn shame."
Isn't it crazy though how much that guy ran our day to day? He just gets
he ruled our lives.
Literally ruled every waking minute of our lives. Not because of him, actually, because of people's pathetic response to him. Yes, he sucked, but people were worse in their response. They were more embarrassing than him.
Right.
The way everyone else ruined our lives over him.
Right. For the sake of the bit, I will say
A little bit. And I think you should grab him by the pussy. No. But it's like he then just gets censored, not president anymore, and it's almost like I feel like it's like a figment of my imagination. Well, we lived through that.
I feel like you still see people on Twitter who are almost they really miss him a lot. Like the Jeff Tiedrichs, those type of guys.
Oh yeah,
the
loser.
Palmer Report guys.
God.
Here's how much of a loser I am. I would check those guys because I missed just pulling up their accounts and being like, I fucking hope this guy dies.
I know.
And gets hit by a bus.
There was that Eugene Yu, that MD that would always be under Jeff Tiedrich.
Right, yeah.
We're talking about those two guys that were always under Trump's
Jeff Tiedrick
tweets.
was the guy, he looked like Eric Clapton if he fell off. Like, if he fell off instead of his son.
He looked like Eric Clapton's dead kid grown up.
And it would be like Trump would tweet something. Like Trump would tweet sometimes. He would tweet like praying for everybody in Houston during these floods. Hope everyone's okay. And then Jeff Tiedrich's like, maybe you should fucking kill yourself, bitch. And it's like, dude, like wait one more tweet when he says black people should die.
Let him say like a bad thing.
Give it a day.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah.
No, I know. Even when he would say something that's like normal, the guy would be like, "Hey, why don't you?"
Right.
Yeah.
I specifically remember it was like during one of the hurricanes. He goes, wishing everybody safeness during the hurricanes, and somebody replied, he goes, you're not a fucking weatherman, right? It's like, should people just run into the street during the hurricane because fuck Trump? You know what I mean? Man. Yeah. That being said, I do not align with his policies whatsoever.
No, I don't mean either. But he did. The election was stolen from him.
Right. I was at the Capitol.
But all me as well.
I grabbed the fire extinguisher. The thing's not crazy.
I did beat the cop to death.
The Capitol riot. What a time!
What a great day that was.
Literally the best entertainment I've ever had. Better than any movie that's come out in 3 years.
It was like professional wrestling,
honestly. It was great. Unbelievable.
I remember we spent the entire day in the group chat just sending bits back and forth.
That was very good.
And then that white lady got shot in the face.
And there was footage of it.
And then there's footage of her on the way there.
Climbing into the window.
But she's like driving there like on a live stream. She's like eating a Cliff Bar for energy so she could get in.
That's right.
Boom. Right to the face.
Yeah. Jeez. And her video is just like, isn't it just like basically, hey guys, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? Gonna have a great day storming the Capitol.
Oh, then there was that one lady that got this is so sad. These Appalachian whatever's these people, whoever Trump had eating out of his palm, just this is all of Appalachia.
A lot of America. Yeah,
most of America though.
Yeah.
But like that one lady where she got all pepper sprayed and she's like with her husband and they're interviewing her and they're like, what happened? And she's like, they pepper sprayed me. They're just trying to storm the Capitol. And then they're like, why'd you try and do that? And she's like, it's a revolution.
Just like a soccer mom who doesn't get you can't storm the capital of the U.S.
It's so funny in their head. They think they're like the people dumping tea in the Boston Tea Party.
Do.
But in real life, they're like, I wanted to storm it, and now my eye hurts.
I literally couldn't believe there were people in America, even dumb people, that didn't understand the repercussions of doing something.
Yeah,
like
and
I couldn't believe it.
And there was so many people got themselves sent to jail for treason because of tweets and stuff.
It's so crazy,
dude. There were so many. Dude, there was celebrities there. Ariel Pink was there.
Who's that?
He's the guy who has the round and round we go. He has like he's like a Brooklyn recording artist. Has one popular song.
Okay.
Ariel Pink's Haunted Graffiti.
Oh, is he a black dude?
No, he's very white.
Okay.
He's the whitest man who ever.
Because a
lived.
guy just got taken. He got arrested he used the Capitol riot to do his album artwork.
I did see that. He was like
like this in front of it, and they arrested him.
He released his album. Yeah, he released his album. And they're like, that's a federal crime. Your album is a federal crime.
You're taking a picture.
Right.
It's like jumping in front of like Reginald Denny, like getting like bludgeoned to death. You're like,
right. A picture of you shooting Ronald Reagan.
My favorite goof was how Devin was saying he wanted to storm the Capitol, but only to raid AOC's locker to sniff her panties.
if I was storming the Capitol, I would have just gone through AOC's panties in her locker.
It cuts to me. I'm eating Nancy Pelosi's bras midway through.
I would have been in some room like, how do I send myself $2,000?
My favorite was one guy tweeted, he tweeted breaking, and it was a picture of him at Nancy Pelosi's desk. He goes, breaking news, I have now entered Nancy Pelosi's office. It's like, breaking news, I'm going to jail for 20 years because of this tweet.
These people. Oh my God. When that guy put his feet up on her desk and they smeared shit on the walls.
It's great.
I gotta say, it was inspiring.
The thing was, I think for a lot of us, we were like, I think you said this, where you're like, I always wanted to see this, just not from this group of people.
No, exactly. That's why it was so depressing. It was like they got the perfect thing again.
Right.
Like, let's not pretend like those people don't deserve to be afraid for their lives after the year they put everybody through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to pretend like, oh, it's so horrible. Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell had to run for their lives.
People on Twitter were literally like,
good.
Yeah, people were like, oh no, not our U.S. senators.
What? These people that have literally been like playing a game with your job and your livelihood for a year straight.
Mitch McConnell might get beat to death.
Right.
Oh no!
Mitch McConnell should be fucking shot by Anton Chigurh. He should literally have the cat. Javier Bardem should go,
prod. Yeah,
sir, will you sign the bill?
Right.
And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he just puts the cattle prod right up to Mitch McConnell's head. Anyway, is this allowed? I don't think so on YouTube. But
actual threats against members of Congress.
We're talking about my uncle, Mitch McConnell. But yeah, that was. But it's like with a bunch of Trump, QAnon idiots. Right. So it's perfect for them to use to be like, it's disgusting. AOC says she's getting therapy for it. Mm-hmm. Really?
Right.
You need therapy?
Right.
Imagine every soldier in Iraq. Like, I've PTSD. What are you in here for?
What happened?
Your group therapy thing, right? So I got my leg blown off.
Right.
He has one eye because he got shrapnel. Like, you're here.
Yeah.
Like, I had to evacuate early because there might have been people coming to raid.
Two trained Secret Service brought me to a secure room, and now I have PTSD.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
I mean,
rocking tits, by the way. If you just asked
beautiful
that.
rack.
Yeah.
Big milky truck.
By the way, just quickly, I have to say, both of my legs, all my limbs blown off in Iraq. Great tits.
Yeah.
Great fucking rack, by the way. Yeah.
I mean, she's
lower torso uses a little work.
It still works. Yeah. Most of my dick is still here.
No, it's getting hidden by those pantsuits.
Talking about limbless AOC.
Oh, limbless AOC. Yeah. Well, she just needs some injections.
Yeah.
They'll inject her with some...
No, I know. I was adding to that AOC. I think it gets hidden by those pantsuits. You know what I mean? No one's ass looks good in a pantsuit.
She's a beautiful woman who's powerful and intelligent. I'm a huge fan of her.
I love AOC. I think she does.
I support the Green New Bill and everything.
She does great work, except when she doesn't support Medicare for all.
Does she not?
Yeah.
Well, she did she did, and then when they needed to push it onto the House floor, she just was like kind of nowhere to be seen for that. Same as all the other fucking fake liberal Ilhan, all those people that are they're like the dynamic, the trio where they're like, we're the young lefties and we're gonna fight for you.
Right.
That whole Jimmy Dore thing. You remember that? Jimmy Dore was said oh really? Then force a vote for Medicare for all. And none of them did. They all just because they have their own shit to worry about for themselves. They're all out for themselves. That's why nothing will ever literally get done. And that's why the Capitol riot was fascinating. But they let them in.
Right, yeah, the cops.
I don't want to act like that's not true. They let them in. Let's not act like the Capitol Police are that idiotic that just guys. All the footage I saw of people breaking windows, they were shot immediately.
Yeah.
But then you see footage of around the sides, and they're letting them in.
I think there's
I would let my friends into the movie theater in middle school. Like, I go to the exit, I let all my friends in.
That's the problem is they hire people like you as cops.
That's the problem. I worked
to be
there,
fair,
actually. I let them in.
If I was the cop, I'd be like, fuck this. I'm not getting speared to death for Mitch McConnell.
I think they definitely, somebody called them and said, just let them in.
Yeah, but I don't think it's I think probably there's a protocol where it's like, if we have this many guys on the ground, if we're facing this level of opposition, to avoid conflict, the move is to not, engage.
Right. I think there was also definitely just fuck it, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, because that was the comparison everybody made is like, you look at it when Black Lives Matter stormed the White House, it was like there was fences up, there was like, it was like there was a 200 Navy SEAls on the front of the White House,
Right. Well,
versus
the president
that
didn't send those people. Our president sent the rioters.
Who was elected fairly, as we all know.
Fairly elected. Stop the steal, folks.
Yeah.
Imagine being the guy that's still being somebody that's like, the Dominion voting machines were faulty.
There's legitimately people who are like, President Trump is running the government as a secret association.
They found out who QAnon is. It's like a Papa John's delivery boy.
Really?
I don't know, but I watched some documentary. It's just some loser.
Right, yeah.
They actually found him?
I think so. I think that
they found Q?
I think the QAnon documentary on HBO. I don't know. I half watched it. It wasn't very interesting.
I didn't watch. Okay,
it's
so
they
find a suspect at the end.
All the people that were in a part of QAnon, they're all like Cirque du Soleil characters.
Well, I saw that. I saw the carnival.
A lady with 7 arms. Yeah. It's just a bunch of people with colostomy bags.
And you've seen the founder of 8chan, right? The guy who created it.
Yeah, I think so.
He's this big, and he's in a wheelchair.
The guy in the dock. I saw him in the trailer.
Wheels. He lives in like a Puerto Rico, I think, now with the guy who bought 8chan from him.
Is he rich from 8chan?
He's not as rich as you would want to be for having your life ruined and being this big in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I mean, his life was already ruined. Ruined.
His life. He started as a Men in Black character. Yeah. So
if he's living in a moderate house in Puerto Rico,
not even him. You zip his head open. There's a little guy in it in a control room.
You press a button on Trump's face and it goes out, and then Wheels is inside of Trump's head. Yeah, the galaxy is on AOC's bra.
The galaxy is in AOC's pants.
Oh man!
But yeah, that was
Steve Bannon is the big roach guy.
Oh my God! That's so perfect.
Out of his truck.
That's so fucking perfect.
Steve Bannon's like, we're facing a global.
I need sugar and water.
Sugar water. There's a coming global economic collapse in 2022.
My kids go to school with Jews.
Lord.
Man. Okay.
Lord. All parody.
All jokes. Nothing I've ever said is real.
Right.
Did you guys hear about Biden and the FDA? They're going to ban menthol cigarettes.
Yeah, this is a big...
And I don't understand... Listen, how is that not racist?
It's kind of racist.
I've read the opposing where it's like, no, they were sold to the black communities and inner city communities, and they've been killing. Like, why can't black and Hispanic people, or why can't minorities have a vice too?
You know what?
Cigarettes are just as bad.
I never thought about it like that, because their argument is always like, flavored cigarettes are, it's more attractive to kids. But you're so fucking right. I think you're definitely right.
It just seems racist to me. It's like what's next? You're gonna ban Martin on all streaming apps? I don't understand. Oh no more Red Lobster on Friday.
No, they're basically saying black people can't think for themselves. We're taking it away from them. Yeah,
it's insulting. They're grown. Everyone's a grown up. They can get what they want.
Yeah, Joe Biden's like,
no. menthol cigarettes all the time. I have a pack somewhere. Yeah, I have one here. I
used to smoke them back in New York because they're the cheapest cigarettes.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're fucking minty.
They're the best.
And they taste
delicious.
good.
You don't need to.
I cough blood every time I smoke it, but whatever.
If you smoke menthols, you don't need to floss. Right. It just cleans. It just starts going to work.
You save on toothpaste and you get a nice buzz.
Yeah. You're like, my teeth feel great. I'm having a panic attack and I can't breathe anymore. But the teeth, wow, they shine
as they're falling out.
Yeah, they shine. I always used to go. I would go into bodegas in New York, and I would try to buy Lucy's because I just figured out about that, and I thought it was cool.
It is cool to say, "Give me a Lucy."
Yeah, it was like, "Give me a Lucy," and every time they would just be like, in the accent, they'd be like, "You cup, no, you cup." Like everybody thought I was a cop.
Like we give these to homeless people. Like, why are you asking for a Lucy?
I'm the only guy in Brooklyn who can't buy a Lucy.
This is how we found out that Jace got Eric Gardner killed.
I was so jealous.
You kept texting him like, "Yo, can I get a Lucy?"
I was like, well, I'll show that piece of shit. Hello, the police?
The police.
Hello, is this the white police?
Is this the police?
I talk like one of the Wire guys. I'm looking for a police. He's a good police.
But isn't that kind of, I mean, I told Richie about this, and Richie was like blown away. He thought I was lying to him.
Yeah.
He was like, what?
Well, because did
menthol?
they ban like flavored vapes or flavored
they've always banned flavored stuff.
They banned flavored vapes and all that shit.
But
Obama did, but Obama kept menthols allowed because Obama fucking smoked.
I buy the menthol vapes.
He's smart.
Yeah.
They're the better ones,
Yeah.
I heard.
Well, their rhetoric has always been, we're banning these because children are attracted to flavored stuff, but I feel like that's a cover-up now that you're saying it, and it's probably some fucking white, scientist going like, I think we need to stop these guys from smoking.
It's just Joe Biden's new 94 crime bill. It's just a new version of his weird race, like subliminally racist policies as he funds a genocide in Israel.
If they ban menthols, I will take to the streets.
You know, I'm 100% pro-Israel. So.
Joey is too. And I'm Jewish.
I'm actually not. I'm not.
I'm Jewish.
Well, no, neither am I. So, my thing is...
My dad is Jewish, but he's trans now. So it makes him a woman, so he's my ma, and now I'm a Jew.
My whole thing about Israel is that they're not the complete... They're not complete evil monsters, and Palestine isn't completely a sweet, innocent country.
I don't even know what's going on.
Well, what's going on over there?
I don't even know.
I don't want to get into it, but
is there like a fight going on?
They all hated the new Wonder Woman movie. They're like, it's kind of pedantic. It's not that good. The Imagine video was embarrassing.
Fighting over the Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah. Just kids with rockets just fighting over. He's like, it was a good movie. It's 78%. Rotten Tomato. And then you see just a rocket. They always move like that when they're getting fired towards the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Israel's just defending it because the lead is Israeli. That's the only reason they care.
That's right.
I don't even know what's going on there. I mean, I couldn't point it out on a map.
I'm no expert, but the people that go out there and say like Palestine's never done anything wrong. There's a lot of these like progressive people. Palestine's so sweet and innocent. They've never done anything wrong. Yeah. It's like, that's a bit much. Israel's done a lot of fucked up shit for sure, but it's not exactly.
Well, yeah, I think it's definitely, and I think there is a thing in the progressive movement where it's like, I think the call should be for peace, because I think that's ultimately,
of course, call for peace.
A call for peace versus I feel like there are people where it's like, yeah, no, Palestine should destroy. Yeah, Israel. Like I've seen that, and it's like, well, I don't know if
that's the opposite.
I feel like that's a bit much, and then it also becomes a vehicle. And I have seen this. It becomes, people have anti-Semitism, I think, just deep inside their brains, because you will say that like when there's an opportunity, like Israel-Palestine, to point out something wrong with the quote-unquote Jewish people will be like, yeah, that's right. Like people get like real.
I would say 9 out of 10 people that use the word Zionist are very anti-Semitic. Right. It feels anti-Semitic.
It feels like there's some anti-Jewish.
I literally thought these people were talking about like Zion National Park. I had for like a long time. I was like, what is a Zionist? Like a big fan of Utah.
I thought they were like huge reggae fans or something. Like they're talking about Jamaica.
Why they all care about basketball, ladies and gentlemen?
I get Zion Williamson's good. He hasn't done that much.
He dunks
You're a Zionist?
I think
Okay,
he's
good at dunking, but I mean,
No, I don't know. I mean, why can't Israel-Palestine just smoke a blunt?
Right.
And just smoke a blunt and secure the bag.
Get the bag together.
Just get back together. Smoke a blunt. Hotbox the whip.
Right.
And secure the bag.
Right. You see me slowly edging out of the frame of all these clips. Just edging away from death.
What? I didn't even. I just did a. That was a.
No, it's fine.
No. I'm doing.
I just throw something at you and go, you said the N-word today.
You glassed me in the eyes.
Also, real quick, poor Tim. That it's like he's on the last Kill Tony episode, and then now we're talking Israel and Palestine. It's like the Tim Dillon show.
Right, yeah. I was trying my best to hide that.
We're not even talking Israel and Palestine. We have no idea what we're saying.
Right.
Anyone who would take any of this seriously is
we're just doing
dumb.
bits.
I stand by what I said about that.
I'm just trying to say Wonder Woman was bad. My only hard point is I hate women. So
What is Wonder Woman?
What is Wonder Woman?
I saw the first one, but like the second one, everyone hated it, right?
Right, it's not great.
1984.
Female superhero, Devin.
I watched it. It was one of the worst movies ever made.
It's very bad.
The second one?
Yeah,
The second one?
1984. That one.
Yeah. Why is it called 1984?
It's set in 1984.
It's set in 1984, and there's a book by George Orwell, which is, I think, a little close to today's times. Very
good. Sorry. Where's the camera?
Yeah. Where's the camera? What if I camera one? Camera? I can never find a camera one, camera two, camera
and
one.
of course, the book is called Animal Farm.
Yeah, of course, Wonder Woman, Animal Farm. Looking down the wrong barrel. No, it's very bad.
The world's crazy, folks.
Yeah, and Wonder Woman
crazy, Blaine.
World's crazy. All you can do is drink.
Yeah,
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
You know, we're just a couple of electric meats. We're a couple of electric meat monkeys on a skeleton.
Goddamn
just
right.
Traveling on a spaceship.
We're just a bunch of bags of flesh, brother. We're just a bunch of bags of flesh riding around on a rock through space. Mm-hmm. Right, folks? Anyway, Jamie, pull that
up. So deep.
It's what we are.
Puts everything in perspective.
Terrence McKenna, others.
I remember when I smoked DMT and I met the Machine Elves, the great creators of the universe, and they told me trans athletes should not be allowed to compete in women's athletics. They told me that. The Machine Elves. So.
Fuck. But yeah, anyway, the banning menthols is racist in my opinion, and that's my final thought on it. Realistically,
right.
Agreed. I don't really think there's any other thing to look at.
Agreed.
I mean, it's just odd. It's like what
The opposite take is that it was a campaign again. The whole ad campaign. Marketed toward urban areas.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great thing that the Newports, it's like an upside down Nike sign.
We have to give everyone their own agency. We're allowed to choose. I buy menthol cigarettes twice a week.
Well, it does come down to, I think, an actually very good left-right argument. Do you give people their own agency to choose to destroy their body?
That's my
or is it the government's responsibility to step in and protect?
They're trying to take our freedom.
White liberals. It's classic liberal racism.
Yeah.
They don't think minorities are smart enough to know better.
That's what it's always come down to. I am thinking too.
Yeah,
right.
I agree with you.
I don't know how it doesn't come off that way,
but I agree.
I think that is the racism inherent in it. Is you're right? Is the thing that's like, well, they don't know any better.
Well, also it's also weird that every report I see on it, they bring on some random black intellectual of some merit, and then they essentially they're painting the picture that anyone who has the take that we have is a fool, and that they make Trevor Noah had like a comedian on, but like made a joke essentially saying like, oh, I'm gonna go buy up a bunch of Newports right now to sell them, and you know what I mean? Like you're a fool if you think.
And he's like making jokes about how the Newport, the ash stays on forever,
right?
It doesn't get in the gumbo when Granny is.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, but all right, Comedy Central. Okay, sure. You sick race scientist.
Race scientist.
Jesus Christ, who's running Comedy Central? Calvin Candy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's just gotten weird where like the party line seems to be like, oh, you're an idiot if you are against this in any way whatsoever. Yeah, and you're actually the racist. It's very odd, and I don't understand it because as we've said a million times over, it's obviously like why can't any person make a choice that they want to make?
That's my thing.
Like, it makes no sense.
I think that about gambling. I think that about every single decision. It's like I hate the fact that I can't play internet poker on all the good sites because it's like, we have to protect you from losing all your money. Let me do it. Let me lose all my money.
Yeah, and then that comes down to like, I mean, you can even apply that same argument. I think this is a real separation between Republican values and liberal values. If you get behind the media. You can even apply it to we're getting
behind the fucking media, baby.
We're getting deep on theory. Like you can even apply it to like, should all drugs be illegal? Which I actually support. I do think all drugs should be illegal.
Yeah.
Because the ramifications of outlawing it, I think the same as menthols is you just create an illegal trade for the same
product. It makes
product.
it so much better.
Yeah.
I bet you there were more like gay bathhouses when being gay was like way worse.
Oh yeah. Being gay used to be so much hotter.
So much hotter to fuck.
It was like, look at Prohibition.
So awesome.
Prohibition when you ban booze.
Yeah.
That's what that made Al Capone.
I started getting tired of smoking weed when it wasn't that naughty.
Right.
Yeah.
That is true.
I do things because they're naughty.
I didn't
even like weed.
I used to fuck when I was still Christian, and it was so hot.
It's
the shame of it.
It's way better.
The dark. It really was like being gay because like I can't tell anybody. I have to do it in secret.
When the stakes are high,
I'll fight the person afterwards. Yeah,
I'll fight the person afterwards.
I'm just gay Vito in The Sopranos, trying to punch Johnny Cakes.
But yeah, no, yeah. What were we talking about?
Huh?
Devin, you're about to bring up a new topic. We finished that one.
What was the topic?
It was menthols.
It was menthols. We went back to menthols after Israel.
Well, no, it was menthols that led into gambling, freedom with drugs and
That's
gambling.
the thing. Yeah.
Freedom.
Everyone should have the opportunity to become homeless on their.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I mean? The same way you have the same opportunity to become rich or whatever. Or not, even though you don't. But like everyone in America,
the illusion to
become rich. You should. Why are we babysitting people? It's like drugs. Like most drugs are illegal because some idiot fucked it up for everybody.
Absolutely.
Didn't they do that in Portugal? I think in Portugal they legalized all drugs and the death rate went way down.
But in Portland, Oregon.
Portland?
Yeah.
Portland they just legalized a lot of drugs like heroin, stuff like that.
Yeah, they decriminalized mushrooms.
That was your
I actually think Devin's right though. I think Portugal also did. All drugs.
Portland made it legal to burn down the city. Portland, the mayor goes, "Please burn down City Hall." Whatever works.
But yeah, in Portland too. I didn't know about Portugal, but in Portland.
I didn't know.
It worked.
I didn't know Portland.
Yeah, Portland did it.
It's crazy,
and it was a massive success.
Yeah,
it was a massive.
Any drug is legal. We can go do heroin in Portland and in front of a cop, and he'll like.
Yeah, they have clinics that you can go to, and they will inject you with heroin.
Oh, my God! Taking a trip up to Portland.
It's like this year. It's like the prisons in Denmark that we looked at that one time.
Right?
You remember that?
Yeah.
It was like a prison. It was like a 4-bedroom.
Yeah, it was like amazing.
You get cable. Yeah. Like a masseuse. I'm like, I need to go to jail in Norway.
No, it's nice.
It'd be better than my current life. Yeah.
It is literally.
Right. I'm gonna fly to Norway and kill a kid.
Jail's better than most people's lives. Most people don't get 3 meals a day.
Well, in Norway especially, but it ties in because in Norway those jails are so fucking nice, and people when they get out of jail from those jails, they don't fucking the recidivism rate is much lower.
Right.
They don't commit crimes again as much.
Well, that's the problem of the prison industrial complex, as I've heard Noam Chomsky call it, is that you actually are creating criminals at that point. And it's the same thing where if you legalize drugs, it's usually a black teen will get arrested for having just an ounce of marijuana on him. He goes into the system, goes into jail, and jail basically teaches him to be a criminal. He might get sexually abused. He might have to join a gang.
He's fighting for his life.
I've heard also when
somewhere.
he leaves,
I've seen this touched on in The Wire and the show called The Night of on HBO.
I read the autobiography of Malcolm X. So everybody, shut up.
That's a good one.
Everybody, shut up.
That's a good. Malcolm X he's my favorite rapper.
Right, but even when you leave, when DMX died, I was like, shout out Malcolm X, you were a legend.
You're like, what's the D stand for? Right. I know the M and the X. But what's the D?
I'll never forget when Malcolm X was killed by a gang of pit bulls. It's a tragic day. But even when somebody leaves jail, it's impossible to get a job. Every job application asks you about your prison history.
Right.
So that you've basically trained somebody to be a criminal.
Yeah, pretty much.
In the society.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, it's why I can't get a job.
Devin was at Sing Sing.
Man, it's ridiculous.
Devin was the Birdman of Sing Sing.
The Birdman of Sing Sing. Oh, man. But what I wanted to talk about is somebody's phone going. Is that your phone?
It's not mine.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize it was ringing.
Dingy because no, it's okay.
Okay.
Is that a lay?
You know what? It's vibrating and it's just hitting my nuts. and my nuts are doing like a
clock bells.
Yeah, I have a metal penis. Yeah.
Joey is officially back in town,
right?
And I just need to talk about this because it was so hilarious. I picked you up from the airport.
Yeah, very nicey, by the way.
Of course.
A great friend.
Right.
I 2 weeks ago?
May 1st.
May 3 weeks ago?
Well, I think May 1st or May 2nd, yeah.
3 weeks ago, I picked Joey up from the airport. Joey's drunk, as he usually is. Joey's on a no-fly list.
Flight.
I mean, Joey is
we
kicked off most major airlines in America.
No, so there was we talked about this on 2 different episodes in the past. I got kicked off 2 different flights.
2 different flights.
For being too hammered. One of them, just to clarify, because I don't want it to sound like I'm an.
You're on those.
No.
You're on those.
He just rushes the cockpit with a knife.
Joey is on those.
With a box gun.
Joey's on those playing cards they used to give you as soldiers.
What'd you say?
I said Joey's on those playing cards they used to give soldiers with all the terrorists on them.
Yeah.
Joey's the 4 of diamonds.
But no, so what happened was on the first flight, we got on this plane, and what are they called? Stewardesses. They came out, and
I think it's calling him a stewardess like sexist nowadays.
What is
I
it?
called
What's
them a
the new
stewardess
one?
one time, and people looked at
What's
me.
the new one?
Steward.
Fucking
Air horse.
Yeah.
flight attendants.
Flight
Yeah,
attendants,
that
yeah.
so liberal
Yeah.
bullshit.
So sexist we don't even know the word.
I go, lady. I go, get over here, lady.
I go, sugar tit. Give me a couple of nips of Jack
Hey,
Daniels.
Sky bitch, get over here.
Sky slut. Get over here.
Sky slut.
Where are the sky hose?
Oh wait, can you tell your story? Because I have a story that I think will match you.
Okay,
as well.
perfect. So I'm on there. We're on this plane. Flight attendant comes out and she goes, "Hey, we're supposed to take off in 10 minutes, but it's a little delayed, so I'll be back. Well, we're gonna take off. 10 more minutes." She comes back. Hey, bit of a delay. Hang on, we're just working something out. We'll be back. She comes back and she finally goes, "We have an issue in the cockpit with a piece of equipment, and it's going to take us. We just have to get it checked and get it fixed, and then then we can take off." And I was like, I started. I'm already very hammered. I've been drunk in multiple airports. I'm pretty close to being blackout drunk, and I start looking to my seatmates, and I go, "Hey guys, guess what? This plane's never taken off." I go.
I remember this.
And I go, I simply know a thing or two about planes. Listen to me. I go, if something's wrong in the cockpit, it requires multiple people to check it to make sure that it's okay before it can fly off. I go, a situation like this, it's never getting cleared. And people are frustrated. They're stressed out. They're like, I want to get home for Christmas. It was Christmas.
Right.
And so the people are literally saying, like, shut the fuck up. People are going, like, be quiet.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. And I'm going, like, oh, dude, I'm telling you, we're not going anywhere.
You're the Bill Maher of
Yeah,
the plane.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I continue to do this.
They're a bunch of atheists, and he's like, actually, there is no God.
Yeah, right. No, I'm being super obnoxious, but also they don't know that we're not taking off.
Right.
And I actually know.
Right. You are right.
No,
Yeah.
I'm right about this. I happen to know about it. So anyways.
You're actually being helpful.
No, I'm trying to, because I want to get off the plane.
Right.
And they won't let us off.
You're trying to start a
nothing-
mutiny.
No, I just want to get off the plane and buy a new ticket.
There's fucking nothing worse than sitting in the fucking plane on the tarmac.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So, but they keep serving me booze, and I keep getting drunker and drunker. I keep getting worse and worse. And then finally, the lady comes out, and it's now like an hour and a half later or something like that. And she goes like, "Hey, we're not taking off. Like, we couldn't get it." And I said, I told you. And I'm so hammered at that point. What the fucking
Yeah,
tell
I
you?
remember this. You stood up.
yeah.
Yeah, you stood up. You did like a victory lap.
So didn't get kicked off that. We go to the next plane, and now it's all the same group. We go to the next plane, and it's one of those planes outside, no walkway. You have to walk outside, and then it's a small plane. You do the stairs.
Right, yeah.
And so on the way up there, I'm with the same group, and I start going like, "Oh, you guys think this one's taking off?" I go, "Look at this one." I go, "Look at this one. Look at this piece of shit." And then so I get on there. And
You're a bigger terrorist than Al Qaeda.
yeah. No, so I bet like 5 people coming in were like, "This guy's he's get him off. Get him off.
Yeah.
And then I keep getting drunk. before it ever takes out. You
remember you were stuck in Denver, right?
We're stuck in Denver, and then Richie let me. He offered to let me stay with his sister. Very nice offer.
Mm-hmm. And then, you officially got kicked off the plane.
Yeah, so they kicked me off, and then there was another one that I can't even remember.
Right,
but there was another one. There was a few, but this one I remember. This is the classic. You were on Instagram with this one.
Yeah,
I remember you walking outside, and you're on Instagram, and you're going, "These people think the plane's taking off."
I was trying to rub it in their face.
You were rubbing it in, yeah.
But anyway, so I got kicked off that one. But Chase, what were you gonna say? Because I'll go back.
Mine is not as victorious. Mine is a little more sad than yours. Okay. But it was flying here like maybe a week ago, because I've been here like a week now, and I hate flying.
Yeah,
as you know, it's a 9 a.m. flight. I have my 9 vodka bottles, and I'm just I'm already moving, which I'm very stressed about.
Right.
I'm like, I have like a week to find a place before I start this new job, and I have to fly on top of it. And so I'm just getting hammered. I haven't eaten anything. I'm getting really hammered, and it's kind of important to the story. Most of the people on the flight were not white. It was just all black people.
What airline were you on?
I was on Spirit.
Interesting.
Yes.
Anyway,
interesting. I was on Virgin Airlines.
I was on JetBlue.
Right. I was flying us on the Soul plane.
He was on that airline NWA, which is a literal airline.
Yeah. It is.
When I was a kid, I'd be like, "What?"
It's like Northwestern Air. Yeah.
I was like, "That's not what that means." Like,
you're like, it's the N word. You was 7. So I'm drinking my little bottles, and I'm getting like way too drunk, and I'm like already like I'm a big guy, so I'm like clearly like annoying. I later got asked to move because I kept accidentally kneeing the woman in front of me in the back, and I'm like basically on top of this other lady next to me, and the plane starts to take off, and I'm chugging like my 8th little vodka bottle. And as the plane starts to like lift up in the air, like it goes to like a 45-degree angle, I just go, ah! and I drop the bottle in the aisle.
Oh man!
And I'm so drunk it took me a minute. I dropped the bottle in the aisle, and you just see it's clinking back and forth.
Oh no!
And it rolls like 12 aisles back, and some guy just like scoops it.
and he drinks it.
Everybody watched it roll back, and they know it came from me because they just see my giant arm just go in the aisle. And I turn back at the guy and I go, I hate flying. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
And then it's like 36 people passing the bottle up to me, plus the people behind them.
Yeah.
And they finally hand it to me. I go, thank you. And I turn back around, and the stewardess is like at the front of the plane strapped in, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like she literally mouths, what the fuck are you doing?
She really mouthed, what the fuck?
She really mouthed, what the fuck are you doing to me?
Well, it's Spirit.
And then she came back through the middle of the flight.
They don't do that to you in first class.
No, even Southwest, they don't do that.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
She was taking her life out on me a little bit.
Yeah, it was a Spirit Airlines stewardess.
Yeah, because it's like, I should have a gun on this flight.
Yeah.
It's Spirit Airlines.
Spirit Airlines.
Yeah. You should let me have a dog.
Yeah, they double as social workers on Spirit Airlines. She needed to get to the next town so she could fucking bail somebody out.
Right. There's a lady in the back doing fondue right now. A live fondue boil.
The pilot of Spirit Airlines is a bird.
Yeah, it's like a James and the Giant Peach situation.
But yeah,
and then she came to me midway through the flight, and she's like, no, sir, you wouldn't be drinking alcohol from outside the plane during the flight. I was like, no, I didn't do that.
Oh, it wasn't from the plane. They don't.
No, it was my
booze.
own.
It was your own. And you're allowed to do that. Why are they acting?
It's illegal.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't.
Wait,
you can
what?
bring your own booze onto a plane, but you can't drink your own booze on a plane.
Yeah,
that's illegal.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah, no, that's been around.
That's not new.
No,
I mean nobody enforces it. Like, can you imagine an air marshal pulling a gun on me?
But you're allowed. Are you allowed to drink right before, like in the?
Well, the way
terminal?
to do it is like
this is the expert right here.
Yeah, the way to do it is like so you have your booze privately snuck in,
right?
Then you go to like a restaurant inside of security, and you just get like a big Diet Coke,
and then just pour it
out, and pour a bunch of booze in.
That's what I always do. Vodka OJs because I fly in the morning, and then I take them into the bathroom, and then I pour the vodkas in the OJs.
Yeah.
And then people are like, "Why is that guy chugging 3 OJs before the plane takes off?"
I could have swore it was okay to do that.
No.
No.
Yeah, I guess you guys are right.
You can drink their booze, I mean, it's just a
that's
rule.
Why it's illegal, because they want you to buy their own shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same reason you can't bring snacks into the movie.
Well, with fucking COVID, though, it's like ridiculous. You get a Diet Coke, you order like a Coke now, they don't even bring you the can. They pour you like 3 sips in like a cup. I mean, in Southwest, I don't.
Oh, in Southwest. Oh, yeah.
I don't really go crazy, but like Southwest, even it's like they used to give you the can.
They give you the can,
cup of ice.
Pour yourself,
Now they don't give you the can because cans have COVID. Whatever bullshit they
and they're in such a hurry, they'll pour it and they don't let the fizz go down and pour again. They just give it to you with the fizz.
And then it's this much.
It's this much.
And then they make an announcement like, "Don't sip too long."
I started buying first class because first of all, it's way harder to kick a first class guy off.
Right. Yeah.
They're way more lenient.
They assume you're like Scott
Joey
Stapp.
gets first class because he knows he's going to be a big problem.
Right. They think Joey is Scott Stiles.
The lady comes over. You're like a mess. She's like, yeah, I guess he's probably like about to be blacked out. But it's like,
yeah.
He's a high roller. Like, go ahead.
Right.
He's a high roller.
Like
I mean,
there
that
must
is
be
probably
some
true,
corporate policy where it's like,
it is.
don't upset the first class
Right.
customers.
Because they don't know who that could be.
They don't know who you
That
could
be.
be.
A big guy.
And also, I drink enough booze on those things where it backs out to the same price. Because it's free booze.
Right.
So I spent $200 on booze on the plane, or I spent $200 extra on the ticket.
Right.
And I get first class. It's
a good strategy.
My favorite
strategy.
is when I have not brought enough booze because I need it on the plane because I get that nervous. My favorite is when I don't.
Not really. I don't need it.
Yeah, you don't really
like
need it. Yeah, it is also kind of an excuse to get just.
I always need
right. It is a perfect excuse to get lit up at 9 a.m. as well.
I use it as an
It's
excuse.
great.
Yeah.
It's great. I've never done it yet. I've literally never been under the influence on a plane.
Oh, you should do it. It's so easy.
I treat going on airplanes like I'm in my zone. Like I'm like, finally, I can work, and then I get nothing done.
You're right. I do that too.
But every time I do it, I'm like, I'm gonna write.
I pull out my computer. I go, I'm gonna work on the screenplay, and then I go. I'll do 4 Jack Daniels.
Right, yeah. Spilling them into the laptop.
And then suddenly
yeah.
it's just me listening to Steely Dan on full blast.
Oh yeah.
And I
Right.
haven't written a word.
That's my. I'll just get Blitz and I'll listen to like Frank Ocean. I'll be like, I rule this world right now. Look at me up in the clouds.
Last time I was on a flight, I watched the movie Flight.
I watched Flight
where
2 nights
Denzel
ago.
crashes it.
What a fucking
Flight 2
sociopath
nights
you
ago.
I was
are.
like insane. I'm like watching it. I'm like, what's he up to?
I love
I'm surprised they show that on the
Flight's
plane.
a shit
I know.
movie.
Yeah,
Flight's a shit movie, but I love it.
No, it sucks ass, but it's great.
It's
I
bad, but
love it
I
too.
love that movie.
But DC, you were telling me a story about picking me up from the airport.
Yeah, so I picked Joey up from LAX, and Joey usually gets off a plane drunk, but I was like, but you were like drunk.
I was very.
You were pretty drunk, but it was fine. So I take surface streets all the way home, which is took like an hour and a half because the freeway was just horrible. Oh, yeah. So you're kind of sobering up in the car. We get to Joey's new luxury apartment that he's living in the Arts District in Little Tokyo, downtown LA. Mm-hmm. And this is Joey's
beautiful apartment.
Beautiful. But it's his first fucking time ever being there. I
rented it online.
Yeah. He's just hoping the pictures match the
I did a little research.
But it's like, so they're giving us, this lady is giving us this tour, and it's one of these apartment complexes where it's like it's a town. It's like massive.
It's 6 different buildings.
It's like a city in and of itself.
And conservatively, every building probably has 100 people in it, maybe.
Yes.
Like maybe more.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I didn't even do the math, but yeah, I bet you're right.
So they were in the lobby, and I mean, Joey's got like mustard stains on his shirt. He's wearing like dirty sweatpants. He totally doesn't look like he's actually the guy that's
eating dirty.
Yeah, no, I get it. It was hilarious, and I look like shit too. But I'm like, sober, so I'm like leading you. And they're talking to you in the lobby, and they're about to take you on the tour, and then you go, oh wait, hold on. And you go to the bathroom and you go, I gotta dump out. And you say that in the lobby of this really nice apartment complex.
I don't remember that.
You go, I gotta go dump out. So you go to I don't think you even took a shit. I think you just peed or whatever. But you just made it like you said something very vulgar and like crass for being. And, like,
I don't remember that at all, but I believe it.
And there were people being shown. There were like couples that were being like given like a tour,
right,
by another person in the apartment. They were just, it was like so nice, and Joey and I were just there like the fucking Beverly Hillbillies.
It was so ridiculous and funny. So then the lady takes us on the tour, which lasts like fucking 30 minutes.
I thought that was me just being. It seemed to go on forever.
It never stopped.
I mean, the place
but it's
is huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It has like
That's
pools,
why
movie
I started
theater.
acting up, I think.
Yeah, so she's well, you acted up within 5 minutes.
Well, it was clearly you were also back in LA and you wanted
to impress me. You're making me laugh.
Well, I hadn't seen Devin in a long time, so I'm trying to make Devin laugh for sure.
Yes, definitely. And I knew it.
One of my favorite goofs is to like go and be like, if I'm at a restaurant with my friend, I'll get the wage. I'll go, by the way, my friend's like a pedophile.
Yeah, you've done that to me a million times.
I have to legally
on the
register.
He's done that. Joey has called me a pedophile in public hundreds of times.
We're at a 7-Eleven and I'll go, sir.
He's a convicted.
I've seen him steal.
I remember us at a bar one time. You doing that to Ben, and the waitress comes, or it was a restaurant. Waitress comes up, and you go, you point at Ben, you go, he's by the way, a pedophile. She's like, oh, okay, good. He's like, not accused, convicted. Jury found him guilty, and she's like, okay.
So Joey, so the lady's leading us to your apartment. What does she tell us about it being a work from home type place? She says something.
Yeah, so I can't remember what she said, but I happen to know it's a work-live apartment.
She goes,
you can have an office there, or you can live there.
So she goes, it's a work-live apartment. She's in front of us. We're behind her walking. She goes, it's a work-live apartment, so, blah, blah, blah. And Joey goes, well, that's good, because my friend behind me, he's a prostitute. And he goes, well, he'll be hooking out of the building.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like, but Joey's so good at
Did she buy it
jokes
a little
like
bit?
that. I kind of laughed, but I could tell she like nervously laughed, but was kind
She's
of like
he might be a
kind
hooker,
of like
right.
I look kind of like you look at me. I look a little bit.
Be a
I look like I could be in a weird way.
You
like
could be a supplely young boy.
I could be some little Italian boy being shoved up men's asses or something. So she like nervously laughs, but then what Joey does when people laugh, he doubles down and he goes, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
He goes like, he's a prostitute.
No, because, what I'm trying to do...
He'll be hooking. And I'm like, oh, no. So then we get to your apartment. The key is like having problems working, which she's very apologetic about. She's like, oh my, there's like a glitch. There's just a weird tech glitch with the key.
Yeah.
We'll get this worked out. We'll go back and get you a new key. So she opens up your place. It finally works, but it's a little glitchy. And you couldn't let the key thing go for the next 20 minutes.
Well, because I'm worried about getting to my own house.
No, I know.
That was a real concern.
But she made like a point to say like, I will give you a new key. We will get back to the place.
I have low confidence.
So she keeps, yeah, of course, but so she keeps giving us the tour of like every other place. There's like
the roof,
8-10 barbecues not being used. A pool with cabanas, like a bunch of cabanas. She's explaining the pool and the cabanas and stuff, and you're fucking with her at this point, like Larry David. You're like, so that's the pool. I take my shirt off. I have swim trunks on. I get in. He goes, so then she goes, yeah. And you go, so the cabanas, I'm with my friends. I hang out with my friends. I then get in the pool.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh God. I'm like laughing inside, but this lady is just trying to like get through her day. Like she's so like.
It's her job. I felt that.
Yeah,
by the way, I'm going to buy her
So then they let us into the gym. We get into the gym. And there's like.
I actually remember that.
There's one guy like working out behind the glass. And there's like those like yoga balls or whatever, those like
inflatable balls.
Yeah. Inflatable balls.
You lay on them, not heavy.
And the minute we walk in, Joey violently like kicks it against the glass, and it hits the glass. It makes this huge noise. This guy working out like almost falls off his treadmill, and he's like, "Huh." And the lady immediately walks up to it like, "I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm blah blah blah. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
And she doesn't acknowledge it, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, God damn it.
I got a call from the manager about that.
Yeah.
A week later, right? You got a call about that?
A week later, I get a call from the manager, and she's like, hey, you just moved in. Just wanted to make sure the appliances are working. Everything's okay. You're doing okay. I'm like, yeah, it's all good. And then I found out the real reason for the call. Yeah. Well, she goes, and by the way, I heard something about the tour. Maybe you got a little drunk or something. and I have like severe ODD.
Right.
I have oppositional defiant disorder.
Yeah. It's a real thing, by the way. Yeah.
I have
Joey fights everything.
Any authority thing, I don't know what it is. Something's wrong with me. It just fucking freaks me out and sets me up. But she goes, I heard maybe we were drunk. And I go, yeah, I got hammered on the plane. Like, what about it? And she's like, you kicked something in the gym? And I was like, I kicked a really, it was a very light exercise ball against a piece of glass. Like, it wasn't dangerous. I don't know what somebody told you. Maybe somebody said it was, they gave you bad info, but it wasn't a big.
Right.
Bad info.
Yeah, so I'm already fighting.
I mean, it wasn't harmful in any way, but it was definitely
it's terrible behavior in any
horrible
gym.
behavior.
Yeah.
But it is also, in Joey's defense, it is just, it's almost like, I think I'm stealing this from McNutt, but it's in Roger Rabbit. You remember when he's chained to the guy and he's like... I
haven't seen it.
Well, he's chained to the guy and it's like a whole problem for like a couple hours, and then he goes to saw it off and he just slips his hand out. He's like, you're telling me you could have done that the whole time? He's like, no, only because it was funny. I could do it's the same thing.
No, he did it
You're just doing it because it's so funny.
Of course, I'm trying to make Devin laugh the entire time.
Right.
And
But I'm also worried that Joey's not going to get his fucking apartment, so I'm not.
They can't do that.
Well, I didn't know, but I was just like nervous.
California renters have the best rights.
Yeah, you're right.
In any
But I was just very nervous. I would have been laughing the whole time if I had been. But I was like, we just got here. I'm like, Joey's literally
my memory is
never
that you were laughing the whole time.
Inside. I mean, it's a great story. then she tells you about the gym, and you lift up like a weight, and you go, now, can we get some heavier weights in here?
Very funny. Yeah.
You go, another classic.
Yeah, another classic.
But he's being so serious. The lady really thinks he's being serious.
Right.
Joey goes, I can't. I mean, these are nothing to me. I mean, I can. You make. I forget the pound that you want them to bring, but you go. Can you ask the person that runs this place to get some heavier weights in here? I can't use these, and you like tell her like specifically like I need you to the point where she's like almost like writing it down like 1,000.
Right.
She's like 1,000-pound weights.
I'm gonna buy her pastries.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna. I don't know what she likes, but I'm gonna buy her something nice.
The only other thing I remember. We're in like the elevator, which I was like dreading being in an elevator for more than like a minute with her alone because I knew you were gonna fucking attack. and she goes, you go, so where are you from? And she goes, I'm from Vegas, but I'm an LA girl now. And I'm out here
dreading what I said.
And you go, you like go like. So do you hang out with Steve Wynn and Johnny Mendelson, or is this some name of somebody that like she definitely would never know?
Just famous
like poker players or
well,
whoever the fuck.
Me.
And she's like, no, who are they? And you go, they're only the biggest developers in the in the tri-state area.
I've been reading a lot about gamblers on the internet, and why I don't want to say it like it's just happened. That's the only thing I read about.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
But so shame on me. I want to.
I don't think Joey. I really don't think you have any. You don't need to defend yourself.
No, it was just all.
No, it wasn't malicious. It wasn't. Nothing was malicious.
I've never seen you do anything maliciously. It's just always within.
No, it's always hilarious.
Yeah.
But I do feel because I was disrupting this lady doing her job, so I'm gonna buy her like some pays. I'll ask her what she likes.
She's not. I remember who she is.
Justine. I don't want to. You
remember her name?
I don't want to say. Yeah.
Say her last name.
Well, there was another one in there with a huge fake ass. That was like the one that I could tell gets all that. She's the one that sells everybody.
Oh, right.
Because she was like selling a couple, and the guy was like,
because it is a place where people would get sold by a big fake ass.
100%.
Yeah.
It's those type of people.
Exactly.
It's the type of people where they're like, I'm trying to build an empire.
Yes.
Like those types.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care how many homeless people have to step over to get home.
Right.
All right?
It's like, I'm starting my own business. It's people where you're like, I'm starting my own business, and then you figure out their dad is Goldman Sachs.
Right. I mean, it's literally an area full of fake bullshit.
Right.
It's the WeWork. The WeWork building is Joey's View.
Yeah.
Across the street from where Joey lives is the fucking WeWork building.
So there's
which is a fake business that's there's a documentary about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Big documentary about WeWork where the guy completely was running. It was like Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah,
Theranos.
like Theranos.
Yeah. So WeWork's the same thing, and I watched the doc and I'm like, oh, they must have like ripped all, shut all those down. No,
right across the street from you.
Right across the street.
Thriving.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's also a cool, like, if you walk a little bit further, you've got Little Tokyo and you got a bunch of cool Japanese
It's a very nice
area.
area.
Perfect area. I fucking love it.
No, it's awesome.
I can't wait to hang out there after this.
You were trying to sell me on it. It's just not my type of area, but it is very nice.
Well, a big reason I live there is because I don't have a car and I need walkability.
It's
right.
You have 2 cars.
I have 2 cars now, which I have 2 parking spaces.
The work car?
This is how
work
much
car and personal car.
Personal car. I have 2 laptops, 2 cell phones.
Damn.
He's
Nice.
doubled up on everything. He's got a burner.
I'm working commission only, so I'll probably be homeless in a month. No, I moved. I did Alhambra, so I'm out in the sticks. But I like that. I like to be
That's
out.
what you like. Yeah.
and then
Wait, you
drive
got
in.
the place in Alhambra?
Yeah, I told you that.
I thought you got
said
the place in Glendale for 3 months.
I got the place in Glendale. I was going to accept it, and I kind of feel bad about this. I was like, "Hey, I'll bring the money over tomorrow," and then like immediately after the Alhambra place, which I liked more.
Oh, they got
was
back
like
to you.
there was like, I think you're approved. I just need to call this one person.
Okay.
So I lied to this very nice family that I was going to move in with. I go, "Hey, can't bring the money over tomorrow. Can I bring it over Friday?" And they're like, "Totally." Figured out I got the place yesterday, and then I told them afterwards. It's like, "Hey, I can't move into your place."
Well, you wanted the place in Alhambra, so that's good. That's good.
I'm so excited about
That's
having
great.
it.
Great Chinese food out there.
Fantastic. I live next to an In-N-Out, which is you're going to see me. I'm going to look like John Panette in a year. It's going to be a problem. But I'm going to be the really, really fat guy where I'm like, I only eat protein style. I don't eat the bread, so I stay fit.
John
Yeah.
Panette.
Rick, you got about one of those?
Boy, I'm starving.
Boy, I'm starving.
John Panette died at 30,
Right.
and all his specials were named my stomach's full.
Right. John Panette's the guy where you're like, John Panette died. You're like, oh, wow.
Well, crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, Ralphie May too.
Yeah. Both very funny. I liked both of them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you not? You hated them.
I didn't care either way.
Mm-hmm.
They did their job well, but I never thought what a brilliant point by Ralphie May.
You're glad.
I never was like, that's so wildly funny.
I'm like, Ralphie May, the Carlin of our time.
I mean, John Panette's bit about buffets is funny.
When I heard Ralphie May's scuba diving bit, I knew he was the Carlin of our time.
Sad that they died.
Right.
But I don't like most stand-up comedians anymore. I mean, other than, like I said, Louis.
Other than Louis. Season 2 on DVD.
Season 1 and 2.
Right.
Check them out. Hell of a show.
Yeah. Horace and
has anyone
Pete.
ever heard of this Louis C.K. guy?
Horace and Pete on Hulu.
Tremendous.
Great series.
Great show.
Yeah.
Another great show.
Yeah. I honestly wonder when they died, did they have, I'm like not even doing a bit, did they have to make a bigger hole for them? Like when they put them in the ground?
Jesus.
They probably did, right?
Ralphie May?
Ralphie May and John Panette.
I guess, what is it, a 6x4 usually?
I think it's more narrow than that.
I don't know.
It's more narrow.
I don't know how the grave digging business works.
I know
I should be one.
I know it's 6 feet deep. I think it's 6 feet deep, 8 feet long. But I think it's only like fucking 3 feet wide. Imagine being wider than 3 feet.
4 feet is way too wide.
Yeah.
You're right. You got to be right about that. You must. There's custom. There is definitely custom caskets for fatsos. Definitely.
That's my only goal in life is to be buried in a normal grave. Is my only goal.
Well, first of all,
your weight goal.
Well, you're very tall.
I don't want a grave digger to be going like this.
Going out.
Right.
Are people still digging up graves?
I would love to be a grave digger. I mean, that's a great job.
It's such a classical romantic job being a grave digger.
Right.
It's like Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer are doing it.
I would just love the grave diggers. Like, it's great. I'm my own boss. I'm in the outdoors. I see death and destruction every day of my life. It has no negative effect.
They're going to get taken down quick because who's going to come out and support to be like, robots are replacing grave diggers. Can you believe this?
Yeah.
Can you believe this
Can you believe
trash?
this, ladies and gentlemen? And it's just the robot is like smoking cigarettes, and it's
Is that still a thing?
What? Grave digging?
Grave digging. Is that
It's 100%.
Is that still happening?
I've seen them at my grandparents' funeral.
What do you think?
What would be the replacement?
How do people what?
They're still burying people.
Right.
No, but why are people digging them up? Back in the day, they dig them up.
Gravedigger digs the grave.
But also, there's what do they call the guys that dig up the bodies?
Grave robbers.
Grave robbers.
Right.
Okay, I see the confusion.
Yeah.
That was the confusion.
Right. There's probably
I'm also retarded.
You mixed up digging and excavating.
This guy's trying to solve Israel-Palestine.
I told my girlfriend the other day, she goes, "You're just not interested in things, are you?" I go, "Yeah, I don't retain information.
Right.
Leave me alone." I go, "Stop trying to give me, stop acting like I'm gonna like read something and then be like, oh, I'm an expert.
No,
I don't remember anything."
Jace,
got the brain of the goldfish.
Jace at the taco truck. What was it? Devin's like, "What's the difference between a lamb and a sheep?"
Yeah.
Is that the same animal?
I kind of was trying to be stupid, but that is some. Honestly, my girlfriend said that recently. So then I was kind of like, yeah, I'm an idiot too. So I was like, well, yeah, what is the
right? And then that was my time to shine.
A lamb is a baby sheep.
No,
it's not that stupid.
I didn't know that.
We didn't know that. It's not that dumb.
I didn't know that.
But the dumbest thing
No, you asked what's the difference between a lamb and a goat.
A lamb and a goat.
That's what you asked.
That was it. Yeah.
Well, because
which is wildly different. Yeah, wildly different.
Get out of here. This is true. I'm not kidding. About 6-7 years ago, I literally didn't know the difference between a pickle and a cucumber. I was like, what?
That's tough. That's tough.
I thought pickles were their own
I forgive you.
creation.
One of your best jokes, in my opinion, is why is there a drought? Because why don't we just put out buckets?
Yeah, that was a big bit of mine, right?
But also, it came from a real thing.
Sometimes being stupid is hilarious, and so I think I kind of started going with that more than I should have. With a lot of things in life.
Oh no, I think honestly, some of the best comedians come from a place of, because there's so much of a problem in comedy of being the smart guy all the time. So being the stupid guy is so fun.
It is very funny.
That is clearly a very smart person about a lot of things, but he gets silly about stuff.
Yes, and then sometimes I get dig too deep, but like
you're the smart dumb person, not the dumb smart person.
That's what exactly.
Right. No, I love twisting it into an intellectual, twisting it into an intellectual conversation where we're like, no, being dumb is actually smart.
Yeah, right.
All right.
which I'm very guilty of.
No, but I mean, I'm completely serious. I literally didn't, because I didn't eat pickles, so I just thought they were a separate entity from cucumbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
I can honestly, I think I thought the same thing as a young man.
As a young
man. And I almost remember the moment when I learned that because I hated cucumbers and I loved pickles. And the minute somebody was like, they were the same thing, I was like, I almost feel betrayed in a way.
Right, a little bit. I mean, I knew they looked similar, but
I was like,
pickles are all cut up. I never see a cut up fucking
They're
cucumber.
grown cut up. That's pickles. They taste like bread and butter. We all know that.
But yeah, what's another thing?
Well, I don't want to put Joey completely on the spot, but when the ODD was brought up, it reminded me that I actually have some of the old emails that we emailed Cherie and Charles when we lived out in Santa Monica. And there was a time when Charles, it was our old landlord. We had this really annoying landlord. I'm not going to say his last name, but we referred to him as Cuckman all the time because his wife would just bitch him out.
His last name was something Min.
Yeah, so something Min. Yeah, exactly. And we just bitch him out all the time. And apparently he had come by and we had like hung up a punching bag.
A heavy bag, yeah.
A heavy bag. And I have Joey's email and it just always cracks me up. And Joey responds, so they had emailed us about the heavy bag, like, hey, please take it down. And then it had been referenced that like it was on an awning. Yeah. And it had been referenced, the whole awning can come down because of this heavy bag. So Joey responds, he kicks it off with, she had taken, I would say, I don't know, a few days to respond. So it kicks off with, thanks for the timely and reasonable response. One acknowledged concern I had in regards to Charles's claim that sorry, it's a typo, that he has the strength and ability to literally knock over the entire awning with a single front kick. I will, of course, respect and honor your wishes to not hang items from the awning. However, if Charles' claims are true, this seems like a massive safety issue. God forbid a guest accidentally bumps into it and brings hundreds of pounds of twisted aluminum crashing down atop a bunch of unsuspecting dinner guests. How confident, really, are we in the structural integrity of this thing? Is it okay in the wind? How about a blockage of some type?
He just keeps going.
Right. Like a lawyer's defense.
No, if they're claiming that you can knock it over by punching a heavy bag attached to it, that's actually a legitimate concern. What else will bring it down?
Right, of course.
A blockage of some type that allows water to accrue up there, that could get heavy. Unless Charles has a very sound Taekwondo background he isn't telling us about, I think there's a very good chance this awning is basically our own personal Tower 7.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'm heckling our landlord immediately.
Right.
That's ODD. That's classic ODD. She said, don't hang a heavy bag, and I just started getting steam was coming out of my ears.
Right.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I think you described it once as it's almost like you remember the alien, or sorry, the dinosaur in Jurassic Park with the fins that come up.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody tells you what to do, it's like you become
Yes.
that.
No, I can't help it. I just there's something wrong with me.
I think it really comes from a place though, Joey, because you live your life in a very you're very respectful of your surroundings, and you're not like a dick.
Yeah.
And so I think when anybody comes at you about any you're being a little bit much,
I'm not fucking with
you're
your
like,
shit.
I've never done anything to
if I'm not fucking with your shit, don't fuck with me.
It becomes a very personal attack because you try actually so hard to not fuck with people.
Yeah, I'm not going to affect your life
unless you're
please
drunk
don't affect
coming
mine.
off a plane,
Right.
Well, you know,
and your friend's there, and you're going seeing your new apartment.
Sure, but it's even then. I'm not affecting your personal life. I'm
Right,
not
it's
coming
just
into your
nonsense.
home.
Yeah, exactly,
I'm not coming into your home and telling you how to live or
Right.
something like that.
Right.
You know, I would never do something like that.
Right.
Which is how
I do that.
Right.
I break into people's homes all the time, and I tell them how
Boss
to live.
them around.
It's a real
Sure.
problem.
Yeah.
That's why I got into security, because of Devin.
Because of me
Yeah.
and Jason.
I was like, I need a way to stop
this
Devin.
fucking guy and
Yeah.
his machines.
Yeah. Devin just breaking in. Stop drawing all the time.
Are you doing?
Get a girlfriend.
Are you doing security for the next?
Yeah, that's my new job.
It's just a different company.
Different company. It's supposedly, I know of 5 people who work there, and they're all like, it's my favorite place I've worked at. So
Great.
just going to be doing that, drawing, just fucking and drawing.
By the way,
and selling alarms.
Jace is Reddit famous. I mean, Jace is a famous person.
Famous person.
Jace is.
Sad drawings by
Yeah,
Jace.
so, all famous people have 19,000 Instagram followers.
It's better than fucking me. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Chris Pratt, 19,000.
Somebody linked me to an old thing that Jace sent me where he photoshopped me next to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorites.
And he just made me way taller and more jacked than Arnold. It's a great picture. And I'm looking at it, and I go, it's I tagged him at Jace. I click on it, and it's now a hot black chick took your shit. I don't know if you know.
What?
This.
A black
Wait,
girl
what?
stealing from
Jace
Jace?
Avery is now a hot black chick.
Really?
Yeah.
On Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram. Yeah.
Wow, that's a problem.
But anyway, so I found it,
Fuck.
and it made me start thinking about
Wait, really?
What? Yeah, you just alert Jace about theft?
no, because he changed his name to Jace.
Right.
Avery
Oh,
Drawings.
maybe this is just her name.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
Jace.
just her name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why is a black girl named Jace?
Well, that's probably
You
this
have
is
to
very-
have
this is very
Christian
true.
parents
Yeah,
from
there's a-
Texas.
There's a black woman named Jace Avery with 0 posts.
oh my god.
God damn it. I was
wrote-
literally about to change my name back to Jace Avery.
That's so weird.
But so anyways, I saw that and it made me think oh, because now all the time I'll be on my Instagram and a big account that I follow with 1 million followers will post Jace's cartoons, or I'll be I go to Reddit to look at MMA news and it's top post front page Jace.
Yeah.
And my friends that that I told to follow Jace,
They're all following her.
They're following her.
Well, yeah, they're trying to fuck her.
Yeah, of course.
Who can blame her? She seems like an attractive lady. I'll probably try and fuck her just to get the name back.
Black woman Jace Avery is hot.
Oh, yeah.
She's
I will marry that woman, yeah.
You should hit her up.
I would
Yeah,
love
would
to have
be-
a black wife. I feel like that'd be so funny.
You could take each other's
great.
last name and
It'd be
first
great.
name. Yeah.
Right.
It's a stunning.
Hey, I
match.
take her last name.
And
Yeah.
first name. Yeah. No, but no.
Can you imagine your wife taking the first and last name?
But no, it is remarkable to see Jace back in the day when he was sketching these things. It was It still is there.
No, it's great. It's
still
amazing.
massive.
I'm
veiny
so
dicks,
happy for Jace.
But now it's on the front page of Reddit.
He's like killing it.
Sick.
I'm happy that when I go on Reddit, it's like they're sharing something that I actually like and think is good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They're not sharing like found this little doggo on the train tracks.
Well, a lot of people don't know. Like, I'll have one pop off like once a month on Reddit, but then I'll post like 60, and every 59 of them are like, "You should kill yourself, faggot." Like, that's every.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, people like get
What forums
so
do you post them on,
pissed.
or what thread, or what subreddits?
The Fire and the Kid, my favorite subreddit.
My favorite subreddit
My favorite
as well.
subreddit,
Love that
the
place.
Fire and the Kid.
I feel like I created the Fighter and the Kid subreddit.
You
When I
materialized
found it, I was
right.
like, "What is going on?" They all listen
Right.
to the show because they hate it. Oh
Right.
my god!
You're like Dr. Manhattan on Mars.
It's
you made
incredible.
it. Yeah.
It's the official hate watch subreddit.
I will go onto that subreddit, go through it like once every 3 months. I'll go through it like for hours, and I'll be like, "Man, I agree with everything they say," and then I'll be like, "Fuck, I am a loser."
Yeah.
No, the big posts are like beige frequency. That's the
Right.
top.
Big beige guy. Love
yeah.
beige frequency.
Yeah.
Love porcelain.
Porcelain
As well.
with
Don't know
an
what
S.
happened to both of those guys.
With an S.
but
Beige is still out there.
Beige is constantly.
They were
Beige
both
is
in the
all workhorse.
Right. They were both in the
Beige is-
Capitol riots.
They both got arrested recently. But we find out beige frequency is the guy with the horns.
Did you see what the lawyer, by the way, said this week?
Yeah, they're like, I mean, they're retarded.
Right. He literally said they're short bus people.
The lawyer
Right.
for the people that stormed the Capitol literally like just had like said like, I mean, come on, these people are like retarded.
Right.
You give them a break.
He was Dane Cook. Yeah.
No, it's the
Great lawyer. That's a
new
brilliant lawyer.
Twinkie defense.
Right.
It's the QAnon defense.
Yeah.
Your Honor, they're retarded. Look at them. Your Honor, I might be a simple country lawyer, but these boys is retarded, Your Honor.
Look at him, Yana.
Look
They're
at him,
wearing
Your Honor.
horns. They got fur on.
Listen, he got big
Running into the Capitol.
Your Honor, you think this man has ever had his penis touched by a woman? No, Your Honor. You would raid the Capitol yourself. A woman never touched your penis. I'm 500 pounds. I have a big white suit on. Your Honor, they're waiting for the Q drops because of wheels. A tiny little midget man in the wheelchair.
The little midget man.
The little midget man, Your Honor. He looks like one of the Monstars
that
before
little
they touch the
guy.
basketball.
Oh man, how long have we done, Gerardo? Hour 15.
Hour 15, wow.
So that's
I do have to leave in 6 minutes, but you
Do you
guys
really?
can keep recording. Yeah, afterwards.
What'd you say?
I have to leave in 6 minutes, but you guys can keep
this has
recording
been
without me.
good
That
to
seems
me.
like a
I
good-
like what
I think
we-
an
I
hour
gotta piss
15.
bad.
I'm proud of the work we've done here.
I think an
Me
hour
too.
15 is
I gotta
perfect.
piss.
I think it's perfect,
Perfect
too,
time.
and I have to pee
Great.
too. So
Stuff.
All
All right.
let's end
All
it.
right, bye.
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 Yep. All right.
Then we just don't talk at all.
Yeah, no, we. Fuck you, Jace! You stepped all over me.
Fuck you.
Did you actually record that?
Okay.